Hey everybody, so I have a tremendous surprise for you here today. I'm at SilencerCo headquarters down in their private shooting range, here to talk about the final production version of the Maxim 9. As you've seen in previous videos, the Maxim 9 started off as a Frankenstein gun, which is actually right here. It was an M&P rear, and then they put an integrally suppressed can on the front. You saw me shooting this on a boat off the Florida coast a while back. And since then, the SilencerCo team has modified the final production version into a completely SilencerCo made pistol. So here it is, and this is the integrally suppressed Maxim 9 pistol. We have a can on the end here where the barrel and the suppressor is all in one. There's a big question around why would you want an integrally suppressed pistol? Let's take a look at a typical configuration. This is a Glock 19, and typically, you have a suppressor that you screw off and on, onto a threaded barrel. I'll just screw it back on here. But as you know, an external can will increase the profile of the pistol, but with a Maxim 9, you have it all in one package, and so there's a benefit to having it all in a more compact profile. You've got a flat face trigger that shoots really, really well. You have some baffles on the end that you can actually convert the long into a short version. So there's only one version of the Maxim 9, and that is the long version. The MSRP is $1,500. And back to some of the main changes though with this final production version. The back part of the gun here, the grip is it's a polycarbonate frame, and just a custom SilencerCo grip job. It feels really, really, really solid in your hand. It has an ambidextrous slide release, and I think that is enough talking about the gun for the time being. Let's go ahead and shoot it. And what I have here is a Glock 17 mag. This is a P mag. The Maxim 9 will take standard Glock 17 or Glock 17 style magazines using 147 grain standard American Eagle ammo. And so let's fire off a few rounds here and see what happens. All right. Now, as you may notice, I am not wearing hearing protection, and a big value around the Maxim 9 is how quiet it is. Now, as you can tell in the audio here, you can still clearly hear the report of the pistol, but it is within hearing safe limits, which is 140 decibels and below, according to OSHA standards. Another thing to talk about here with the Maxim 9 is the weight. So for me, it's a well-balanced firearm. The suppressor and the barrel end of this is made out of aluminum, so it is fairly light. There is a little bit of weight on the muzzle end of the Maxim 9, but all in all, it's a fairly balanced pistol. Let's talk a little bit about the slide. You'll notice that the length of the slide is relatively shorter compared to the length of the barrel and the suppressor on the end, and so as you see when the gun is firing that the slide is reciprocating in the back, but since it's a smaller mass, there's less weight reciprocating, and therefore the gun stays very balanced and shoots really flat. You'll also notice on the bottom of the gun that there is key mod slots if you want to add a Picatinny rail or put any other goodies. And also there are a handful of different holsters for the Maxim 9 as well that SilencerCo will be selling. Now to talk about the sights, they are tritium in the rear and in the front. You can actually swap them out for any kind of third-party aftermarket Glock sights. I like the sights just fine on these, but if you want to swap things out, that's obviously at your disposal. Now let's talk a little bit about the trigger. It's a flat face trigger, and personally I love flat face triggers because when I put the first pad of my trigger finger onto a flat face trigger, it feels more secure, and I just feel, for me, I can get a better sense of tempo when I'm squeezing off shots. As you saw, the trigger and the gun is great for rapid fire. Another thing to mention about the trigger is it is a 5.6 pound trigger pull, and as of now, this is the standard stock trigger. We'll wait and see if there's any either third-party triggers that you can install, and if you wanted to modify the trigger pull down the line. In addition to the ambidextrous slide release, you can also swap the magazine release button, right? Move it from the left side of the frame to the right. So for you southpaws out there, the Maxim 9 will also work for you. And there you have it, the final production version of the Maxim 9. It is available at the end of April here, so run out to your gun dealers and get one of these because they're going to be flying off the shelves, $1,500 MSRP, and hope you enjoyed this video, and there will be more to come.